Good evening and welcome to A Journey in Boots from Trauma to Triumph. I'm your co host, Dorothy Odell. This is the amazing Dr. Jay Royster over here, knitting as she does every week. Uh, Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! This lady's birthday was March 13th, but
Yeah.
she's just had an epic couple days on a Navy carrier. And hopefully
Yes.
she'll share a little bit of that today with us. But, we have some badass women on the show tonight, and you're one of them. And so tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, Sanford Modus.
Okay. So I'm Dr. Royster. I'm a licensed therapist. I have a bunch of licensed therapists and psychologists that have served in the military and or in as a first responder, or they're still serving as a first responder. And we treat pretty much everybody, first responders, their families, veterans, active duty. I was blessed and honored with an opportunity from Dr. DeVries, who was on our show about a month ago. And she invited me to go see the USS Ford. And it is pretty amazing. They have 79 planes on there. I mean, that's their capacity. And they fly like 91 to 108 flights a day. And it was just, we got to spend the night. So I got to stay in the little bunk bed area, and it was pretty amazing. It definitely, my hat's off to those Navy people that have to stay on those ships 24/7 for 6, 8, 12 months. Like, that's amazing. And I think the most profound part is they have a therapy dog on the ship. Yeah, very cool. And I met the Admiral Select. And the other thing that was really cool is Gerald Ford. He served, obviously, and his flag was folded up and in a shadow box above one of the pictures I took with one of the XOs, and that was like his flag, and it's on that ship, and that was just very profound. I can't say enough about the people that like supported us and walked us around and spent all their time with us, just kind of letting us on the bridge and watching the planes come in at night. And we got to video everything and, bringing them in during the day and seeing all the operations. And the OPSO guy was there and his master chair. And, they had these young 18, 19-year-olds steering the ship and creating wind so that these planes could land. And just, there's so much that goes into it. I was in awe the entire time. I think I said maybe 5 words the second day. I just didn't. I was beside myself. It is a well-oiled machine. Everybody knows what they're going to do. Everybody knows how to do it. And it just absolutely amazes me. Like, they do these maintenance checks. And if something isn't right, boy, they get them right. They bring them downstairs, underneath. And they slide the thing over so that somebody else can take off, and it is just the most amazing machine I've ever seen in my life.
I saw some of the videos, so we'll have to. Anybody that is interested in seeing the videos, go to Dr. J's Facebook page. There are on there, and some incredible videos to watch. Absolutely. It's ironic because we went to the Navy Museum in New York and was on one of the ships there and got to tour it in one of the submarines. And you couldn't pay me enough to be in that sucker, especially.
It is very tight. These steps are just, you hit your shin on everyone up there. It's just, they're so tight. And then there's another one, and then there's another one. And you're going up like 10 flights of stairs just to get to one place. And then you come back down and you have to go across the hallway to another set of stairs to get to another place. Like, it is a maze. It's just amazing. I think the coolest part, one of the cool parts, there's so many cool parts, but we rode over in a COD, which is a cargo ship, and we rode backwards, and we had a 5-point harness on with a helmet, goggles, and you couldn't take anything off, and it was super loud. And there's pictures on there too, and it is public, so anybody can see it, and it's on LinkedIn as well. But it just, taken off from nothing at 3 Gs was just insane. They're like, hold your harness, tip your head down, hold your breath. And I'm like, okay. And you're like, it's just the best roller coaster ever. I'm just saying.
Wow. If Dr. DeBreeze is watching the show tonight,
Yeah.
maybe we should have the civilian part of the show, and maybe we could do a show right in a jet. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But okay, enough about this.
Yeah, it's loud. It's so loud.
Well, we could just video while we're up there and then do a show when we come down.
So you have the little spongy ear plugs, and then you have the headsets. So you have double ear protection. It's so loud.
I believe it.
She actually has a video on her page where she's trying to hitchhike. It's hilarious.
As
the plane's coming in, she's got a thumb out.
Yes, I saw that. All right. Well, maybe we'll have another episode and you can share your journey with that. But tonight, I'm excited because tonight's guest, Maggie Beckerman, she is an Army combat veteran. Mm-hmm. She's also the vice president of one of the dog trainers for K9 Line Inc. And she served in the Army for 7 years as a supply specialist, deploying 3 times to the Middle East. Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring her up as I finish this. Her last deployment ended when her husband, Michael, was killed in mission. They were both in Afghanistan, ending that deployment and escorting him back home to the United States. I can't get through the rest of this. Maggie, welcome to the show. I'm choked up for you, but I can't imagine. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. And tell us why the military for you.
Oh, that was a question that I was asked a lot. I wanted to serve my country. I really wanted to, honestly, I wanted to be a part of something, and I wanted to be someone that I would be able to be proud of. I wanted my parents to be proud of me, and I wanted to make something of myself. I wasn't going down the right path, and I was in ROTC in high school. I really loved it, and I was like, I want to see where this can go, if I can get in. And sure enough, I ended up going through it, and I had an entire story I had no idea that was in front of me. And I am 100% proud of every step that I was able to take with the military and after.
Wow. Now, did you meet your husband in the military, or was that before?
Yes. So we met on when we came back from Iraq. We were in completely different units. Our units ended up merging together, and I was told, there's this guy, Sergeant Beckerman. He really has eyes for you. And I'm having colleagues tell me, higher ups tell me, and they're like, you need to be careful. The sergeant really keeps talking about this soldier Gillis. And I'm like, who is this guy? And sure enough, when I saw him, I thought he was like Waldo. I'm like, you're such a nerd. I'm not going to even. And dare I say this live, right? And dare I be realistic on this? Was not like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing. No. I told him he was a nerd and he needed to get new glasses. And he was just very persistent. But I remember the day I really fell for him was when I saw him with his daughter, my stepdaughter. And I looked at him and the way he cared about her, and just my heart was beaming, and I just wanted to have a family with him and see where it went.
That is precious. I love those stories. We don't always have to have Romeo and Juliet. Trust me. That's not my marriage either. So I get you. Oh, wow. And so why Army?
Because the Air Force would not take me. What? I'll be quiet. So I was very honest with the recruiter. The recruiter was so brand new. I think he was only recruited for 2 weeks. His boss was on lunch, and I was a very eager 18-year-old. I was so honest with him. Because I was so honest, he said, I'm sorry, but this is not going to work out. I was devastated. I was angry. I was pissed off. He's like, hey, but you sound like you're a go-getter. Do you want my buddy's number across the way? He's just in an office across from me. It's the Army recruiter. I'm like, no, I don't want the Army. No. However, I said, you know what? Fine. So I took the number, but I wasn't the one that made the initiative. It was Corporal Ryan Haas gave me a call about 2 hours later. Within this time frame of me getting off the phone and me receiving the phone call, I pretty much told God off. I'm like, how dare you take my dreams away? I've been so good. I've stopped cursing. I've stopped smoking cigarettes as a crazy high schooler. Like, I'm trying so hard. I want to serve my country. And I was baffled, right? Very dramatic, very just flabbergasted and not understanding why. Then all of a sudden, when I said the words, why do you not want me to join the Air Force? Literally the phone rang, and that was Corporal Ryan Haas. And that's it. And I was like, okay, end scene. Cool. So that's really the truthful story. That's how it happened.
Oh, I love how God works. Really, I do. That is awesome.
Yeah. And then basic was a whole nother ball game. Let me tell you.
Whew. What was your favorite moments of base?
During basic, I think my favorite moment was when we were all terrified. I mean, you have a mixture, and this is back in the early 2000s. So you have a mixture of older and younger crew, people that are just plotted down and told so many things of pretty much you do this and you don't do that, and they're terrified. The older people are probably not as influenced by that intimidation, but they're all pretty much told to shut up and do what I say. And we were told that we were going to go to we just got to our unit. We left, We left MEPS, I think. And then we got to our actual unit. It was Shark Week. Is that what they call it? When they pick out which soldier they want. You go here, because you have short hair. Oh, yep. Your name's the B, so you go here. It's like, where's the algorithm? Like, there's no, what is the serious, is there any kind of coordination? And there isn't. But you're quiet and you're told to march 2 miles, and everyone is really trying to just do what the drill sergeants say. And we come to a course. And this course was an obstacle course, right? You have a 3-year-old there. They're like, oh, jungle gym. And you're like, oh, well, I can't really get excited. But when we got to it, we all started doing this course, but we're quiet. Well, all of a sudden we come to this wall, and it's a rope wall, right? You have to climb it. And I see this guy, and he is struggling. I felt so bad. And I honestly, I'm a woman of faith, but I've also been a woman with a mouth. So even young, I was like, you got this. And I'm screaming, and I didn't get in trouble. I was like, oh, thank God. Well, then all of a sudden people started piping up. Then everyone around me is like cheering them on. Then we started coming together as a team. And it was just one of the most embracing moments, I think, as realizing you can be an Army, whether you're in the Air Force or you're in the Marines, you're in the Navy. An Army truly just means people coming together, yes. Right? And as a young person, I was experiencing that, and it was so empowering and motivating. And I think that is where I truly enjoyed the process of becoming a soldier. It was not all enjoyable. So I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, that my highlight was looking at the stars when I was freezing. No, that was not. something that I will say.
It's moving your toes to make sure they don't freeze. Yeah.
I was actually considered a cold weather casualty. So I would shiver, and I was sent to the medics because I couldn't stop shivering because I was so cold. My body could never warm up. It was crazy. That's a whole nother episode, I promise you.
I love it. So you're in there. What is a supply specialist? Like what do you do as a supply specialist?
So I was in charge of unit supply. So I'd make sure that everyone had their property that was accountable, right? So if you have a computer, I'm going to make sure that that's accountable. So whatever the commander had to sign for, which was every single piece of property within the unit, I made sure that that was not just accountable, but it was called for, it was signed for, and there was paperwork that covered where it was. So that property book was going to be squared away, and I ensured that the commander knew exactly where that was.
That's her puppy that's growling in the back.
Oh, we're going to have to see him.
Singing. You can come on.
Yes.
Aw.
Yes. Hi, baby. It's
Yeah,
nice to see
he's
you
nice.
again.
He wants me to touch him. So if I'm touching him, he's quiet. If I'm not,
He's just like a man. He needs to be finessed,
Yes, but is that about you, or is he emotionally regulating you because you're talking about very uncomfortable?
honestly, I think it's a mixture of two. He's a German Shepherd, so they're dramatic. I'm dramatic as it is. So nein sprechen. So how the two collide, you have this kind of combo, right? Nein sprechen. Guter von mir aus, ne? Kommen Sie.
Hi. Oh my goodness. So
Aw,
beautiful.
what a precious dog.
He's a good boy. Yeah.
He wants to be on the podcast.
That's right.
I'm telling you, he's dramatic. Like,
Are you going to tell us stories?
what are you going to talk about? Huh?
He's like, oh.
All right. So you've had 3 deployments.
Yeah.
And so what were your deployments like?
Oh my word. I don't know if I can truly go into what they were like, but I can express that they were all different. And each one, I was older. I was 18, I turned 19 in basic, and then I turned 20 on my first deployment. I turned 21 on my second deployment, and then I turned 23 on my third.
Oh my gosh.
So I was very scared on my very first deployment, and it was shocking, and it was a culture. It wasn't just a culture shock. It was an entire, am I really supposed to be doing this? Am I doing this right? And you get exposed to jobs that not just what your job is, but you do what a soldier does, right? That comes first. And what I experienced was more of seeing people that I used to hang out with as they were promoted. Now they have to be a leader. Now they're leading me through something that's not very easy. And they're telling me to do things that are absolutely horrendous, but it has to get done. And then, it's my birthday. It's just another day. Oh, it's another Thanksgiving. Oh, it's just another day. Oh, you know what? It's Christmas. I'm happy. And all of my guys are alive. It's just another day. It becomes one of those like, all right, you do what you got to do. And my last deployment was probably my most difficult because I was married at that time, and I had lost several friends, and it was, I think I was more mature in understanding some of the losses and the political aspects. And I mean, how do you really say that it sucked? You know, how do you put that into words?
You just say it sucked.
Yeah, and
That's how
you,
you do it.
yeah, and you know, they have a saying that you embrace the suck, and some days you don't want to.
Right.
And you have guys that are coming in, and you go and you visit them that they just had their arm blown off, and you want to go out there and you want to go fight with them, but you can't because you're part of the liaison. And it's like, man, what do I do? I'm just supply. And then you're like, no, you're not just supply. You have people that come to you, and you're there for morale. You're there to boost morale. And I have people coming and crying to me. I would cry to people, and you become emotional, become vulnerable, and that uniform comes off at some point, and you have to take a shower. It might be 3 days. I mean, that's the truth. But now you're about to take a shower, and you breathe, you cry, you get angry, or you're numb. And you're just like, let me wash my hair so I can look all right. If I have to go and do a flight ceremony, or not a flight ceremony, a ramp ceremony, or if I have to go and speak to the commander, or if I have to go and talk to the first sergeant or the sergeant major, or whoever it is that's above you or even next to you. It doesn't even have to be your chain of command. It's just, you do what you have to do. I mean, that's really what it is. You just do what you have to do. You don't know what's going to happen. You just take one step in front of the other, and you take one breath at a time.
Right. Wow. So, Dr. J, do you have any questions up to this point? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You spent 7 years in the Army. Like, what is your most valuable takeaway from your experience?
Oh, wow. I would say stop stopping.
Oh, I love that.
But I got that way before I joined the Army. I got that from my recruiter. Hated running. Go figure. And he started getting me prepped to go into take the test, and we were going down this fucking hill. Sorry.
Yeah.
This hill was so steep, and we would go up it, and I'm like, I'm dying. Listen, I can't do this. He's like, you can. Don't say that. I'm like, all right, fine. And I would stop. He's like, you need to stop stopping. And then one day he looked at me and he's like, stop stopping. Just put one foot in front of the other. And excuse me, I really kept that with me throughout, and even to this day. Whatever I approach that's difficult, I just don't stop. If I have to crawl, if I have to take an inch and just pull myself, I'll do that. And when I was in basic, I had 4 drill sergeants to my platoon. And we had, I believe it was 4 platoons. So we had 12 drill sergeants, right?
Ooh.
And was it 16? Sorry, I'm really bad at math. So it was 4 per platoon. So it's 16. Right. I am so sorry.
No,
maybe that's
okay.
why I got in the Army and not the Air Force. We don't know. However,
they use their toes in their hands. It's all good.
I promise, though, I am very smart. But saying that, when I took my last PT test, we had gone through all the phases. This was our very last one, and I had gotten in trouble for continuously going back for somebody that was struggling. And my drill sergeant looked at me and he's like, Brother Gillis, I told you to keep going. And in the most dramatic effect, drill sergeant, you told me never leave a battle buddy behind. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Well, I ended up getting I ended up tearing my leg muscle. Like, my quadricep was huge. And thank God I had a medic as one of my drill sergeants. He's like, all right, listen, you push, but I need you to pass. So we're going to give you a drill sergeant profile. Awesome. So if they would get smoked and they're doing like iron mics where you're pretty much doing walking lunges, I would do something that was equally devastating. I would do flutter kicks, or I would do monkey fuckers, or something that it wasn't working that leg. And I'm dying. They're dying, I'm dying, but we're
Did
just
you
doing
say monkey fuckers?
Google
Yes.
it. It's a thing.
What is that?
Oh,
I'm not going to show you. However, Google it. It's a thing. It really is a thing.
Monkey fuckers. I gotta write this down.
So you hug your ankles and you pretty much bring your butt down and up. But that's irrelevant. That's not the focus of this, Dorothy. That's not the focus.
Sorry, I digress.
You're fine. Okay. So, but I had to run with this. My leg was half the size of my other leg. It was obviously injured. But so I gimped the entire 2 miles. Little did I know, the drill sergeant that was going to be watching me and doing my PT test, it was from a different platoon, Drill Sergeant Robinson. Drill Sergeant Roby was a great NCO. He wasn't my direct leader, but I would hear him and he was spot on. Years later, right? I would remember him. And I'm now married. I've been deployed twice. I'm now assigned to 101st. And I'm like, hold on, that guy looks so familiar. My husband's like, who are you talking about? I'm like, move. And it's Drill Sergeant Robinson. I go over and I talk to him. He actually remembered me. He told me, keep going, Gillis, you got this. Just keep going. What I kept remembering was stopping. So he's now in my unit that I'm deploying with on my 3rd deployment, which was the most horrendous deployment of my life. And I end up, I'm a part of the ramp ceremony. When you deploy, you have a ceremony for those that are killed in action. Mm-hmm. And I'm a part of that team. So no matter what time it is, I'm a part of that team. I get a phone call or a knock on the door and I have to go.
Yep.
The flight line. My very last ramp ceremony was my husband's. And I remember like so shocked and just disbelief, I don't think really touches how I was feeling. I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, does my hair look okay? I want to make sure I look correct for him. And I kept looking at my uniform. I want to make sure my uniform looks good for him. I want to make sure that I look like he would be proud. And I go and I walk behind his casket as they're walking him up. And it's my unit. It's my unit that is actually at this ramp ceremony. And we had units all around. It wasn't just at this base. But this base, thank fucking God, I had people that knew me and him. So it was like family. And I'm looking and I see this NCO, Staff Sergeant Watkins. Don't know why I remember him. We didn't get along that well. We didn't not get along, but I mean, I remember looking at him and then I look over and I see Staff Sergeant Robinson. It all came to a full circle. It was like, wow. And you can look at somebody and you can see the pain, the confusion, the anger, the frustration, the curiousness, and the comfort all within a glance. And it's like, wow, I promise you I won't stop stopping and I'll keep going. But at the same time, when I was told that Michael was killed, I was like, God, I need your help with this. You have a plan, but I don't know what it is. And this fucking sucks. And I know you have a plan, but I really need your help because this is a big pill you're going to have me swallow. So all these reminders, I have somebody from the beginning, stop stopping. And I have somebody that I knew from basic that I saw on my last deployment. And then just really learning that this is an army of humans. This is an army of people that have a heart just like I do. They put on their pants just the same way I do. Some of them are fucking Nimrods. But that's why I had to get out, because I wasn't able to compose myself when I was frustrated. That military bearing started to, I wanted to stay. My command wouldn't let me stay. They're like, I can't do it. I can't sign off on you re-enlisting again. And I was not happy about that. But I was to the point where it didn't matter what your rank was. I looked at you as a human. And I'm going to talk to you straight up as a human.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to have therapy for how I tell you you're a human, but you know, I truly just, I wanted so badly to fill that hole, and there's times I still have that hole, but I'm really trying to light myself up, and I feel like I'm dark. Like, give me 1 second. Let me try to.
That is a powerful story.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Not dark.
You're back in the light.
Back in the light. Don't go to the light. But yeah, you know, how do you sum up your entire, I really don't know how to sum up my experience. I had some amazing times. I had times that I'm not proud of. I lied to some command and my higher ups, and I'm very embarrassed about that. Like, why did I lie? Or why did I lead people on? Or why didn't I speak up during a certain time frame? Like, there's moments that soldiers are vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's times where I truly questioned why I handled something the way I did, or I was like, fuck yeah, you did. You did great. Do it again. Let's do it again. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I constantly kept praying to have God humble me and just help me, because there was times I wasn't proud of, and there was times I was very grateful for it. So, I mean, yeah. I hope I answered your question. Sorry, I feel like I went on a tangent.
No, you're
No.
good. I think service is a roller coaster, and I think,
Yeah.
you know, as we reflect back, it's, for me, it's what did I learn? You know, I'm desperately trying not to beat the shit out of myself for what I didn't do, or what I did do, or what mistakes I made. I mean, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
And when I was on that Navy ship, like, there's an 18-year-old steering the an aircraft carrier. Like, what? So, like, we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna screw up. We're gonna, you know, I mean, and that's what the reason is. Like, people live and die based on a chain of command. Like, we need it. We're children.
Yeah. A lot of, yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people join as they're given all this responsibility, yet they have the maturity of an adult child.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, you have the ability to make or break my day, yet you still watch cartoons and eat fruit roll-ups on Saturday mornings. Okay. You know, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's really just saying, again, that breaks it down to we're human. But
Fruit roll-ups are awesome.
I'm going to say that I probably met some of the most brave and courageous people that taught me you can be scared half to death, but they don't give a fuck because they're worried about the person behind them, next to them, in front of them, that comes before them. They don't care about their life.
Right.
I won't say they don't care about their life, but their life is minimal compared to their brothers or their sisters. And it taught me that you're family.
Yes.
There's no race. Oh gosh, there's no race. There's no religion. There's none of that. It really is.
That's it.
You're a boy or you're a girl. Like, that's really it. That's the only difference. And You might like that person and you might dislike that person, but you still want to protect that person.
Yep.
That protection, it comes to everybody. And you want to have that person's back no matter what. You want to teach them how to overcome something. And I think there's moments where you learn how to overcome things yourself when you're trying to help your brethren next to you. You're like, okay, this person just went through this. Wow, I didn't think about it, but maybe I could take some of those words that I just told them.
Well, and I think, it's hard for civilians to wrap around that we have actually been trained and conditioned to take a bullet for our brother or sister. I don't care if you're pink. You're wearing that uniform. I'm gonna protect you.
Yeah.
Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
I had a really hard time when I first got out because I was dual military and I'm considered what is a Gold Star wife now. And I was so angry that we weren't taught what that was in my unit. More so than we're always having the death by PowerPoint of, okay, I have to be taught about suicide awareness. I have to be taught, like, what are the signs for this? What are the signs for that? Make sure I look, and I'm trying so hard not to say too many things because this is live and people do have access to this show. And I really still consider OPSEC a thing.
Mm-hmm.
People that are in the military now, look what OPSEC is and please respect it. Know, and I get really awed and jarred. Like, why are you doing that on public? I mean, people might be watching this that I don't want to watch this, but they're not going to hear much more than my emotions.
Well, you can share what OPSEC is.
So operational security, you make sure that you are not putting out specific information that is protecting the military, the unit, your personal surroundings. It's Dr. Royster, maybe you can elaborate better than I can.
You're doing great.
You're fabulous, Maggie.
You are. You're doing amazing. That's why I asked you to explain it. It basically is being extremely mindful to keep yourself safe. Like, I live in Lakeland, but nobody knows where I live. You can look up my address, and I have a Ring camera. So, like, don't you text me first, right? That's in your best interest. I am military, right? So
she does have a gun.
Yes, I do.
A lot of Americans do. A lot of people in this world do. I won't even just point it to Americans.
But I went and took a CCW class, and I was Air Force, so we used an M16 one time. Like, us medical, we didn't need guns. Like, it wasn't a thing. So, not for me anyway, because I was in surgery. Like, who's going to come in there and we're not guarded? Like, really? We're guarded. We didn't have to worry about it. But as far, I took a class. I took a CCW class, and I made sure I was safe, and I went and shot on the range, and I did all of the steps to, even though Florida doesn't require it anymore for a concealed carry, I still am going to take the classes and do the research and make sure my gun is clean and, because I never want to use it. That's absolutely my goal.
Well, even if, your state or your county or whatever doesn't require certain permits, you still need to be proficient. It's like driving. Like, you still want to know how to operate your vehicle.
Correct.
And you still want to be able to do whatever you can to protect what you need to. And truly, I think that there is a lot of complacency right now. And you are, God, I was so naive as a kid. And then I deployed and I'm like, whoa, didn't realize that. And then it's like, oh no, that's not even just the tip of the iceberg. And there's this entire world that you get exposed to, and it makes you want to learn more and really acknowledge that, you know what, I might not have been as educated in that area as I should have been. Let me do so. Let me take that upon myself so I know what's going on. And truly be vulnerable. If you don't know something, don't pretend. Don't pretend.
Right.
I mean, there's so many people out there that, you know what? I don't want to look like a prick, or I don't want to look like a dumbass. And I'm going to make a very, very educated guess that really has people's lives on the line. And it's okay to say you don't know and ask for help. How should I handle this? And
Right.
some people don't do that. And then we start to lose people's lives, or we start to lose integrity, and we start going down rabbit holes, and it's irrelevant. You don't need to. Like, let's just stay on task and stay focused.
Well, it's a chain link fence, and if everybody doesn't close their chain, the thing is broken.
I think you ask, what did I learn in the military? You are as weak as your weakest, and you're as strong when you're together. That's what I learned. You can do anything you put your mind to. Just go fucking do it. Just go do it. I came back from my first deployment. My aunt, my aunt and uncle, I love them. Oh, my Aunt Susie and Uncle Steve, they were one of the biggest blessings I've been given as relatives and as mentors in my life. And I'm in their house, and it was Christmas Eve. We just got back on Christmas Eve. Oh my gosh. And I am not able to go to sleep because I'm like, oh my God, I know something's going on in the different part of the world. They're not all sleeping. They're all like, there was so much else going on. And there was something that needed to be done. I don't remember what it was. Something needed to be built, or I wanted to help them build something that they just mentioned. I'm like, okay, just give me like a few days. I can have it done for you. They're like, what? What are you talking about? But it's that confidence, because go get it done. Just go do it. If you're going to be lazy, that's on you. If you don't want something, that's on you. If something doesn't happen in your life, that's because you didn't try. And I think fear is one of the most debilitating things that we have in our society right now. And I don't care if you were a nerd in high school, if you were a geek, if you were overweight. I don't care if you were made fun of and bullied. You are who you are today from what you do when you wake up. And I started to see those that were around me that really just started to strive for better. And then eventually it's like, wow, they're what they strive for.
Yeah.
And I'm either with them or I'm doing my own thing. And it's an embracing experience if you allow it.
Mm-hmm. So before we move on to what the cool kid stuff you're doing now, you mentioned a Gold Star wife, and some of the listeners may not know what that means.
Okay. So a Gold Star family member, whether you're a wife, a husband, a spouse, you're a parent, you're a grandparent, you're a child, you're a sister or brother. I would even go say grandparent. Those that lost somebody while they were killed serving the military in combat, they are considered a Gold Star family member, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what their service member, whatever branch they served, they're still a service member.
Well, let me just share where the term came from, and maybe that'll help you take a break.
Yeah, World War II. It started in World War II. Go ahead.
So, the Gold Star basically originated. It's okay. The Gold Star originated from the service flag, and a blue star was flown for each member of the family that was serving, and a Gold Star replaced the blue star if that family member died in service. So that's where it came from.
Go ahead.
There's a whole nonprofit about it, and they definitely they have a day, April 5th. It's a Gold Star Wife Day.
So it's now Gold Star Spouses Day, because it's not just wives that are stars, right?
True.
So yes. And back, it actually originated in World War I, where they would have a flag out in front of their house that was displayed, and they would have a blue flag to show, okay, I have a family member that is off to war. And it, depending on how many blue stars they had, showed how many family members they had. And the one that was killed, they would embroider a gold star over that blue flag or over that blue star to represent the killed in service. And then it's carried on to this day. And now there is a society, not a society, there's an organization, Gold Star Mothers organization, that really brings a lot more awareness and education to people that want to know more and be involved with helping the families that are considered left behind, so they'd never feel left behind. I still get very emotional thinking about what's a gold star like, and coming home and meeting all of the family members and getting very emotional, because it's like, wow, I was just talking to her husband. How do I tell her what her husband said? And having a sergeant major's wife tell me, be quiet, don't talk to my husband like that, and getting so angry. And she was, I feel now, years later, yeah, I would protect my husband too if someone's going after him. And it's like, you weren't in the military. You weren't there. Be quiet. With all due respect, be quiet. And it becomes such a touchy subject from every aspect and every avenue, because we're all just hurting and angry. And where do you point that direction?
Right.
And was it the command that made that call? Or was it the people that fucking created the bomb?
Right.
You know, or the people that shot them, or the people that got into an accident and then the recovery vehicle had to go for them. Like, it gets so misdirected, your anger and your frustration. And I think it is one of the most beautiful things when you see a family member that is hurting. Their nails hurt, their hair is hurting, their entirety is literally inside out now, because their whole world is just taken beneath them, and it's imploded, not even exploded, it's imploded. And they don't know where to pick pieces up, because they don't know what to trust. And you have people that have been there, so they try so hard to show you, how do you get through this? Honestly, it's going to be different for you than it was for me. All I can say is we all just need to learn how to take one breath at a time. So many people kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I had a lot of people that I thought were going to come in to my aid when they got back from the unit, because I brought him home. Come and check on me, or call me, or send me an email, or, ask so-and-so, how is she doing? They didn't, because they didn't know what to say. And they're like, fuck, I don't want to set her off, or I don't want to be around her because we can feel her pain. Or if I am happy, I can't be happy in front of her. Or if I'm singing a song, I can't sing because she's not singing. And you really
people have a hard time with death, and the only advice I have as a clinician is say hey. You don't know what to say? Say hey. I'm here for you. That's it. When you're ready, I'm here for you. Because it is very frustrating when you get all of the, my best friend died by suicide when I was active duty, and all I got was, I'm so sorry for your loss. Here in my thoughts and prayers. And that's very kind. But at the time when you're grieving, I just want to talk about her.
You do. You want to talk about that person. You want to acknowledge that person's existence, and you want to say their name. You want to celebrate their birthday. You want to celebrate a day that they celebrated, like whatever random day it was. It could be a pancake day, National Pancake Day. It doesn't matter. But I'm still taking one breath at a time. God bless those that in third ID that are going through what they're going through. My heart sank, and I'm angry. I'm so frustrated. I'm a lot of those emotions we talked about a few moments ago, and to think about that command that now has to go through this, the families that now have to go through this, the soldiers that now have to go through this. This is a continuous thing. We're going to continuously have this. And as it goes on, we're becoming more educated and we're learning, how can we offer help? I don't know what the fuck to say. However, I can sit here. Now I know I can give you a dog. I now work with an organization that trains service dogs for veterans and Gold Star family members and whew, and military contractors. To see somebody, I have a colonel that is currently in my program. This warrior, I'm not going to lie, has come so far. And when I got a phone call the other day, let me tell you what my dog did. I can't believe my dog did this. My dog actually hit on what we were training. My dog did this without any prompting. To have sentences come out of this person's mouth and to hear the excitement and the encouragement. Oh my word. She's not a colonel. She's a human trying to get through a struggle that literally used to debilitate her. And now she was able to go on with the meeting. This warrior is going back to those roots of being a soldier. Mm-hmm. We all have valleys. I don't care if you're in the or not. Like, our children are going through valleys. Like our teenagers, our young adults, everybody. I don't care who you are. But it's learning how to get through them. And thankfully, I'm able to help some of them through these valleys. I've been through a lot of valleys in my life. They're not fun. I don't know any valley that's like, oh, hey, I'm on a swing. No. But stop stopping. Keep taking that one breath at a time. If you pray, pray. And lean on your higher power. Mine's Jesus Christ and God. Like that's how I got through it. That's me. If you don't believe in that, I'm not going to push that on you. Dorothy, I don't know what you believe in. But
Same thing you do.
But I'm going to ask you, can you breathe? No? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to tap your thigh as a heartbeat. And I will sit with you. That's it. And then go from there. That's it. I'm not going to ask you, hey, do you want to go for a walk? I mean, I will eventually. But if you're at that point where you can barely breathe, you're like, it seems like you're having an anxiety attack or you're having difficulty just even getting the right words. You're screaming. Just sit with that person. Just have that phone on. And it's not, oh, hey, do you need anything? Oh, hey, listen, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to bring some things by. Will you be home? Sometimes you have to force that human nature on them because some people don't want it. Leave me alone because right now I'm a burden. And fuck, this really got dark. I did not mean for it to get super dark. Like, oh, I'm so... I can go down rabbit hole.
It was said what needed to be said. God's in this conversation with us. I'm being prompted to say this, and I'm going to say it, and we'll go how it goes. So the last 2 weeks, I've heard this saying 3 times. When we die twice. The first time when they bury us, the second time is the last time someone says your name. Mm-hmm. So my commitment to you is that we will always be able to say your husband's name, Michael. We will always be able to say his name so he lives on forever, which just happens to be my dad's middle name. And growing up, we always called him that he was always called by Mike, not Don. So my commitment to you is that his legacy lives on, not only through this show, but forever. And his name will always be spoken. So he will always live on.
I'm honored that you've felt safe enough to share what you've shared, because you didn't have to. But I think it needs to be said and it needs to be heard so that people will feel and understand that when you're talking to a service member who has lost someone on the front lines, a respect needs to be given.
Mhm.
I've learned if I'm starting to say something, don't necessarily hold back.
Yes.
Be careful how I say it sometimes. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to know somebody that's lost somebody by their own hand.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the saddest things. We had somebody that wasn't, I knew several people that took their life before we deployed.
Mm-hmm.
And while we deployed, after we deployed. Years later, I've been out since 2013. I still find out people that I've dated, people that I had a very close connection with in just over years, haven't heard from them, found out why.
Yeah.
And it's not just those that have lost, their fight while serving. It's also those that lose that hope, right? It's not
Yes.
necessarily they're helpless, they're hopeless. They're like, no, if I take my life, it's going to be painful, but they'll get through it. No, they have no idea the amount of depth that their absence brings, and it's painful. They're not giddy. They are literally somewhere in their life in so much pain that they feel their absence is a necessity for the society to improve somehow, because they feel like they're either a nuisance, an annoyance, any kind of ince, right? They're just not bringing anything to the table, and their absence will allow that to better whatever outcome. And that's false. 100% false. I think a few times I thought that. I think some people that can become vulnerable have only that ability because they have almost been at that point where they're like, okay, am I done?
It's tunnel vision. It's not having the ability to see a way through. And
Yeah.
you're not asking the questions. How do I see this through? Like, ask for help. I'm struggling. Okay. What do you need? Like, my phone is always on.
Right. But that's so hard for some people. Who do I call? And they're like, oh, I just talked to this person for days and days, and I don't want to let that person down. But yet, I still am feeling hopeless. And it's like, give that. I think there's so much awareness now of people taking their life because it is really known now that there is a reason and it's hopeless. And it's they feel like they are the worst person. I mean, we can continuously go on how negative the feeling is, right? But what I'm trying to state is it's not just those that we lose in combat. It's those that we lose to that mental health war, right? Those demons. It is so loud sometimes for people.
Yeah. I call it the permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. And sometimes it's, I mean, you have to be you have to be an advocate and a participant in your own treatment plan.
Yes.
Figure out what works. It's not going to be like, oh, I found this out, and then just move on. You have to practice it. Oh, this didn't work. Let me find something else. Like, it's a constant struggle and a battle, but it seriously is worth it. And I found out working out helps me. I'm still injured. I am a klutz. I am constantly going to have random injuries. I hate to say it, but I will always have that. It's my MO. Like, oh, Maggie, what did you do now? Let me tell you. You have popcorn because it's entertaining. And I won't give examples, but It really is. Okay, swimming might help me. Some days I'm not physically able to do that. So being outside will help me. I have had to find things. I still struggle every single day. Every day I am in pain in some way. But again, there's that but. I have to find a way to get through this.
Yep.
Because I have to stop stopping. See, it constantly keeps fucking getting thrown in there. Like,
Yeah, it does. I love it.
He was a corporal. He was an E4.
There's a lot of people that you're sitting outside and somebody has a panic attack and somebody gets like overwhelmed and they're having a hard time. And I'm like, you see that blade of grass? And they're like, yeah, I stare at that for like 10 seconds. And at 10 seconds is just enough time to like get yourself out of your shit, at least for a minute. And they can breathe again.
Or it's
focusing on the grass, it distracts them from whatever emotions are going on in that moment.
Or if you fart and you're like, bro, I'm so sorry. I know you're having a moment, but I just farted. And that's actually happened. I was like, guys, I felt so bad, but it was perfect. It was the perfect timing. Yeah. But not trying to at all downplay the seriousness when somebody is really hurting. But these are the realistic things, right? They are hurting, they're sobbing, they're missing a piece of their life that they want, and they're not able to get at that moment.
Right.
And
they're grieving.
They're literally grieving. And it might be because they are divorced and there is something that happened within a custody battle, or they are put into a psychiatric ward because somebody felt like, hey, listen, we got to go and get you some help. We don't feel like you're good by yourself. Or you're literally by yourself and nobody has any fucking clue because you were just smiling on a TV show and you sounded like you had it all together.
Right.
But saying that, they still want to seem like they have it together. So they go home and then they drink a bottle or half a bottle or 2 beers, or they go and they smoke a joint or 2 joints, or they take some kind of substance to help them, and then it progresses. It's like you have to understand not everybody has their shit together all the time. It's okay.
I don't know anybody that has their shit together all of the time. I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think it exists, Maggie.
I mean,
I really don't.
I agree, but there's people that think that is a thing. You know,
I mean, my mountains are like sea level. Like it happens, right? And it might flood, and that's okay.
But see, that's reality.
Yeah.
We recognize that. The 3 of us do. Hopefully people that are watching us do. But excuse me, sorry. There are individuals that will constantly see people on social media because, again, they have a very secluded life. They wake up, they go to the gym, they go to work, they come home. That's their life, right? Or whatever it is. And their kind of connection is social network. So they see people that are posting, oh, selfie, oh, look at me in the gym, oh, look at me out and doing things. And then there's all these acronyms now for people that are out and about, and I really don't know what they are. I just know they're out there. But I know that just do you, boo. Like, do you.
I have a lot of people, I'm just like, if you got out of bed, did you go to the bathroom? Yes. Did you brush your teeth? Yes. Did you take a shower? No. But you got 2 things done. Good job. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, that's enough for today.
Yeah. Give yourself grace.
Yes.
That's I think.
I talked about that in supervision with one of my interns. She says, I don't know any women that give themselves grace. We are way too hard on ourselves. And I'm like,
men too. People like, we were talking about
clients, so that's why she was talking.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just trying
in that context. She has all females. It just so happened that happened. So, yeah, it's amazing.
I'm just somebody that joined the military because I wanted to make myself proud. I wanted my parents to be proud. I wanted to make something of myself and learn how I can become a better person and serve our nation. And I had an entire fucking story ahead of me I had no idea was going to happen. And there was so many, like you said, a roller coaster. I don't like roller coasters. I don't. However, I have learned when I've gotten out of situations that I'm uncomfortable with, if I'm afraid, and a respectful fear, there's, like, yes, I am fearful of gravity. Like, if I go on a skyscraper, I'm not going to go and like lean over, at the top of the building because, oh God, my hands just got sweaty thinking of it. But, but if I'm afraid to talk
Take
to
you to
somebody,
the Willis Tower then, because they have a lean out part.
but I will have fear if I'm going to talk to somebody with courage behind them. Or I'll have courage, but with some fear behind it. If I'm afraid to go look like a fool in the gym, or if I'm afraid to, oh, how am I going to look if I speak in front of a room full of doctors? I don't have a doctorate, but I know how to say hello. We'll start there. So if I'm afraid of something, I've now run to it. Let me run to something that I'm afraid of instead of run away.
I wouldn't worry too much about speaking in front of a room of doctors because they may be doctors, but we are not an expert in your area. And we're there to learn about you if you're speaking to us. So never worry about that.
I will start with hello.
Perfect.
How are you? Like, that's what I'll probably start with.
That's wonderful.
Love it.
But
yeah.
Now I went through a program in 2017. I had a dog that was given to me, and I was told I can train him. I did not believe that. I was having a very difficult time. I also ride motorcycles. I'm a Legion rider. And excuse me, at the time, I was an officer of this post, taking down notes during one of our meetings, and there was a donation request for the organization Canine Line Inc. And they described a little bit about them and stating that they're nonprofit veterans that support other veterans, training their dogs to be service dogs. If they do not have a dog, then they help seek one for them and train them together. Wait, what? I need their number because I had a 1.5-year-old German Shepherd that was absolutely on crack. I did not know how to help him. And I didn't know what I was doing so much in the beginning, and I didn't take it seriously. And finally, I had one of the trainers and the founder and CEO. She's like, listen, either shit or get off the pot, pretty much. Those weren't the words they said, but they're like, we have real people that want to utilize this program. Don't just show up late and expect to get something out of this. And don't try to hold a spot if you're not going to do anything with it. So I started taking it seriously, and I'm so grateful because now I'm in school for master canine training, and I'm one of their trainers, and I'm now the vice president, and I just want to help other people.
I love that. Goes back to giving service and giving back again, only at a different capacity.
I think it really reminds me of when all of us were just kids in this huge field. We have these obstacles in front of us, and we're all terrified to even sneeze. And just that one voice said, you can do this. And it just was this ripple effect of courage. I was like, wow, I do have a voice. Where was that? And they were just reminded. So I just want to remind people they have a voice. There's times I still have to be told I have a voice. But I'm grateful for when I have those people around me that can tell me that.
So, what's your favorite part of dog training?
It's when the dog and their handler, they finally get it together. They're constantly training their dog. Sit, 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 sit. Now, that's not how they're training them. However, they're in this stage of trying to teach their dog a command. They're telling me their dog's not going to get it. I tell them, why don't you let me worry about that and just keep doing what I tell you to do? All of a sudden, they look at me with the biggest doughy eyes. They did it. No shit. And they start they got it. And it's like, wow, I was the same doughy-eyed person. Like, my dog did it. So I think it's when I finally have that person believing that I'm teaching them how to communicate with their dog. Mm-hmm. And it's that bridge of communication. That is and getting those phone calls and those text messages and those videos of, you'll never believe this, because I knew it all along.
Right.
I'm not going to waste my time. Especially if you are going to continuously come to training and you're going to tell me that you're having a hard time, but I can see that you're struggling, but you're doing what you need to do. Oh, I'm going to work hard for you. I'll help you. You're not doing this alone. And our CEO, she's a very, she hates, I won't say hate. Hate's such a strong word. Okay, I will. She truly dislikes when she is mentioned in such a high manner, because she doesn't feel that she deserves that type of praise. But she fails to realize that she made this organization of a safe place. And there are people out there that literally know they are not alone because of her. I am here today because of this organization.
Right.
And several other people are, right? So, okay. You might not be a veteran. However, you're one of the most badass heroes that need to be acknowledged and are very, very needed. And yeah, she just doesn't like that, because she tries very hard to make sure that they know that they're a part of a family now. If you come into this organization, you're family. And she will personally tell each applicant, welcome to the family. And then she'll yell at you like you're her child, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
So why did she start the program?
So she started the program because there was a friend that was not able to receive a dog once they got to the end of the line of a waiting list. This dog applied for a service dog, and all of a sudden, that person's chosen. They go through all the hoops. They sign all the documents. They give all of the documents that are needed. They grab everything that they're asking for. Everything's done. All right, we're here to this day, about to get a dog. What do you mean you need a dog for a TBI? We don't do that. What? I had on my application, I have a TBI. I have on my application, I have seizures. What are you talking about? So that's when they end up creating, you know what, fine. We're going to create our own organization. We're going to help you. And that's what they did. And now it's like this huge organization that's still growing, but it's, I mean, how badass is that, right?
Right. I love that. If you can't see a way around it, go through it. That's what I say.
You have only one option: go or not. And I say one option, so it means go.
Right, because you don't stop stopping.
See? It all comes around to a fucking circle.
It sure does.
Next time you see that guy that told you that, you can go, you man, like I have not stopped hearing that in my head since I
I'm
started.
still looking for him. Listen, his name is Corporal Ryan Hass. I wonder if I'll ever see him. And he was a corporal, so he was E4. When I found out what his rank was, what truly his rank was, after I got in, I'm like, what? An E4 told me to stop stopping, and it meant something. Wow.
It's amazing.
But it changed your life forever.
Yeah.
It.
Oh, I'm going to use it now. I'm done
Stop stopping, right?
Thanks, Corporal.
Yeah.
Appreciate
not a
you.
sergeant major, not a colonel, not a general. Fucking corporal.
Yep. I love it.
But soldiers, I don't care what their rank is. If they have a true, pure heart, they can help anybody. They really can. I mean, it's from the bottom up that really makes your mission a success.
Mm-hmm.
You are a reflection of your leadership.
So what was your highest rank? Just curious.
I got demoted the day I got promoted. I got out as an E4. And we're going to stop it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. I got promoted, then I got demoted. It's something I'm not at all proud of.
That happens. I mean, if you haven't had an Article 15 in the Army, like, what are you doing there?
I had a few.
Yeah, everybody does. That's like a Monday.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's not something I get very bright in the face, and I get flustered because I didn't know when to ask for help, right? And if I wasn't so prideful, I think it would have gone differently.
I don't know. Death by PowerPoint, they don't teach us that. I mean, when I was in and I needed some mental health, they said, well, you can go to the psych ward. And I went, but I don't need the psych ward. And they're like, well, we don't have any other options. And now there's thousands, right? But mine was 30 years ago. And they were like, well, you ain't dead. You ain't bleeding. Get over it. Whatever the situation was, it didn't matter. Yeah, suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup was the favorite saying.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a lot of, if you mention this, then this is going to get taken away.
Yes.
So it's very hard not to mention that.
Consequences.
And yet that was taken away because they didn't mention it, and this whole spiral became a thing. But there are people that don't have issues like that, and they still struggle. And thankfully, they didn't have to go through something as difficult as I did, but or as someone else. But I think the bottom line is, if you're struggling, it's okay to say, I can't, or right now, I will not be as good as it is, or I can be better if I have help. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just try not to con people. I don't know. So many things go through my head.
Then your story is absolutely incredible, and thank you for sharing it. I know that there are people that are watching this and they're going to watch it on the replay. I get a lot out of this episode for sure, and thank you for being vulnerable enough to share with us.
I'm nervous about the feedback. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not. I am.
Why are you nervous? Don't ever be nervous. You said you said.
Again, right? It's like I'm still a little nervous. I'm still gonna talk, but I am nervous.
No.
We are two girlfriends here with you.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Well, I am very honored.
I am so grateful that you decided to get on here and share. And I would love for more people to stand up and just share their experience, because I think, the people that watch it may be people like, friends of mine and Dorothy, and they'll be like, oh, wow, that was amazing. Is she okay? And it's like, yeah, she's playing with dogs. Like who wouldn't be okay doing that? But the other thing I think is, you're paying it forward. Your experience, your knowledge, your vulnerability is actually going to let people know that no matter what they're going through, it's not enough to check out. It's not your time.
I hope that the words I've said instill the acceptance of vulnerability and bring hope, right? I didn't know what to do when I started getting flashbacks. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I started having classic signs, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And
it
really
can be nasty too, and make you really feel, mind, body, and soul, you believe that you are back in that situation.
Oh yeah. And it's awful. And I would call my mom, and I'm driving, and she's like, Maggie, I need you to pull over. She's in college taking psychiatry, and she's like, Maggie, you're having classic signs of PTSD. I'm like, whatever. And here there's like a Black Hawk in front of me, yet I'm on 95 in North Carolina. Like there's no way there's a Black Hawk and mountains and freaking Chinook and firefight. Like that's not happening.
Right.
But my brain thinks it is. But even if that's not really that's not everyone's experience. That was my experience. And I can just speak from my experience. And somebody might get on here and be like, you know what, this person talked about some things that I have no idea of what she said, but I can understand that feeling of not having hope. Or there's people that want to help others. I help because I hurt. Like I say it a lot. I'm selfish in helping people. It helps me to help because I am, like I said, every day I'm in pain. That is not an exaggeration. But I'm grateful because I get to go and distract myself enough to where it starts to actually help and heal.
The adrenaline of helping somebody is very addictive. And I have to be very mindful when someone reaches that other side, it gets to the clarity point where they feel relief. I'm like, oh, this is my cocaine. Because it is. Like, it is insane, that feeling of helping somebody. Or like you said, getting when the dog starts following commands and they, they're sharing with you their excitement and their enjoyment. That is very much.
They're living. Like, you're living again. What? You're looking forward to going outside again.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Let's go.
Right.
Nope. All right. You got it. Cool. Let's do it again.
But that rush motivates you to help the next person.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like crack cocaine, man. I love helping people. I thrive on it.
I won't compare it to crack cocaine, but I will compare it to feeling like.
Well, I have never been on crack cocaine. I'm just using that as an addictive measure. I mean, it's as good as like Dr. Pepper cream soda for me. Like, I was on that boat and they didn't have any soda, and then I kicked up the Mr. Pibb, and I got so excited in the mess hall that they had Mr. Pibb, and then I took a drink of it, and it was root beer, but it was okay because it had caffeine. Like, it was like, anything but water, please God, give me anything but water in a little shootout of root beer. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's okay.
I think a lot of us just have a serving heart. And when you're able to help others and serve others, your heart's fulfilled. I won't say 100%, but there's a dose of happiness.
Well,
there's
say
little
80,
doses.
85.
I don't know how much, but there's a little dose of happiness that gets sprinkled on it. It's like, oh, great. So it's nice.
It's just pure joy.
Yeah.
Because you see that person struggle, and then they feel that sense of relief, like,
yeah, they're able to breathe. You can see like their physical being And I was exhausted. I didn't sleep the other day, and I was running on Team No Sleep for almost 2 days. And somebody wanted to know if they could volunteer with our organization. I talked to them, and I told them, I said, I might have misspoke about a few things, but I didn't sleep. And they're like, we didn't know that at all. We didn't even realize that or catch on. You sounded so eloquent. And they were complimenting on things that I was saying. And I'm just like, well, realizing that this truly is my calling. And I was sent to a PTSD rehab before I got out. And I prayed, what do I do when I get out of the Army? And I wanted to have a nonprofit of veterans, training veterans to provide service dogs and name it Michael's Way. Years ago.
Look at you.
And here it is. This is Michael's way, but this is God's way.
Yeah.
It's Michael's way, but God's way. And it's when I realized that, I got on my knees and I just said thank you.
He doesn't care I'm on a podcast.
Oh, I was a pussy.
Yeah. Sure is.
Sorry, I'm yeah. This is. I hope this is like an MA version, rated R version.
Yes, it's all good. We
I say the F word all the time. So Dorothy's like, we're never going to make any money on YouTube. And I'm like, fuck it. We'll figure it out.
I didn't say that. Anyhow,
swear words.
I love that. I love that you said that Michael's way. Your husband's been taking care of you all along, and I love how you started off by saying, you were shouting out to God, saying, "Why the hell am I not getting into the air?"
Oh, I got so angry.
Right?
Telling him off. I'm 18. I'm like putting the dishes away, and my stepmom's at work, my dad's at work, my younger siblings are at school, and I'm putting everything away. I'm throwing the dishes and I'm throwing the silverware away. I'm like, why don't you do this? Why did I do that? Like, I am telling him. Oh, I'm giving him a piece of my mind. And
he's okay with that. He's fine with that.
He's like laughing, probably. Like, oh,
probably. And then watch this.
9,
boom.
He's like, oh, my beard.
Counting down.
Yeah. And then
Q phone. And it was like, oh. And I stopped for a second. Did I say something? Like,
and then again, he was with you when you absolutely needed him, when you were bringing your husband home, right? And then now you know that, wait a minute, he's with you now, because him and Michael are leading you the way to the canine line. It's all divine, my dear. It sucks. I get it. Fucking sucks. But that was supposed to be your way.
I think of his.
So Canine Line is a strategic partner of Project Vet Relief.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Jim Weinling got us started with them and met with Sharon at a conference, and they just took off. And they were two peas in a pod. And like I said, Sharon wants to just help. So having Project Vet Relief as one of the affiliate organizations we support, what an amazing way to give back and to help and provide other resources for not just the veterans that come into our program, but other veterans we come across or we're just talking to and we meet. Say we go to a game, right? And we're like, oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I serve, blah, blah, blah. Oh, awesome. And then they start talking about something else. Oh, you know what? Project Vet Relief might be able to help you with that. What a great thing. Wow.
Love it. So then they're in the Florida area then?
So let me go ahead and put them up real quick. So Project Vet Relief, I believe, is not just in the Florida area, but they are very big on bringing suicide awareness, to eliminate the isolation and creating a community of veterans by helping veterans. 1 billion, more than 1 million veterans live in poverty, and they do what they can to um, fight for them, making sure that they have whatever resources that they need to get assistance, get support, and really help them with letting them know what their benefits are. If you want, go to projectvetrelief.org. Let me make sure I have that correctly. Yep. So it is right here. Am I able to like put this on here?
Yeah, if you go into the private chat and put it in the private chat, then I can copy paste it and put it into the other chat.
Well, I just copied the link. So
Perfect. Thank you.
there you go. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
One
But
and all.
yeah, they are. We just went to one of their events, Challenge 22. Every year in Jax Beach, they have, and this is not just Jackson, right? They are, I believe, at least statewide, not just in our county. And they might be nationwide. Excuse me.
Well, the Legion Riders are going to be heading out, hitting all the posts on Thursday or Friday.
So there's a Unity ride.
Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unity ride.
So the ride, So what Jennifer Cooper did, who is basically the whole spine of Project Vet Relief, like
Yes.
she's amazing. I would love to have her on the show.
I was going to say, why hasn't she been on the show yet?
Probably because she'll tell me she's not a veteran. It's a big thing with her, but she does more for veterans on her pinky than most people I know.
Yes.
She actually put it in my logo. Yeah, she's epic. So she called all the strategic partners and said, hey, what city do you live in? And you let her know. And she's like, okay, go to this American Legion from this time to this time and tell the riders, like, why we give you money. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Right. So all of us are stationed at different American Legions next Thursday, which would be
And
pretty
also
exciting.
this Monday, they're going to be, so their first stop is going to be at American Legion Post 250, Middleburg. Hey, come out there if you would like to come and say hi. K9 Line will have a presentation tent. We're going to have a booth set up. We're going to have a monitor set up. We're going to show what the packets are that we give to our warriors, where their money actually goes, a breakdown of what things are, what cost, and how you can see what is actually being paid for. And we're going to have play-by-plays of training events and training sessions and our warrior teams out in public.
And puppies.
Monday night, 7 p.m. Yeah. Puppies as well.
And you said April 5th is the day that we honor Gold Star families?
Gold Star spouses.
Gold Star spouses, okay. And how can we support that day or get them word out about it?
You can put it on your page. On Facebook, say, I don't even know if it's a happy Gold Star spouse day. Like, I don't say happy Memorial Day. I say, an honored Memorial Day or a remembrance.
I'm going to say Gold Star Spouses Day being honored April 5th.
There you
go. I have a hard time with that. Like, don't say, Happy Memorial Day. It's funny you brought that up because I asked the veterans that are in this group that I belong to. I said, how do you even, like, do you say happy? Like, what do you say? So I asked them, because I'm like, I don't want to, I never ever want to offend anybody.
Right.
And so by asking them themselves, I can't get in shit because I'm just honoring what they told me.
Right. Well,
Uh,
they're the Gold Star Spouses of America. I believe it's a nonprofit, but they have a lot of information on their website.
okay.
So I just pulled it up and it said you can attend or support a Gold Star event, right? You can visit a memorial, volunteer with an organization that supports Gold Star family members, send a personal letter or a token of remembrance, or just offer being there to listen and be empathetic to somebody. I mean, I think it's becoming more of a known thing as we move forward in the future, and it is something that will be acknowledged bigger each year. Like it used to be Gold Star Wives Day, now it's Gold Star Spouse. So the husbands are now actually acknowledged as well. So as we move forward, it's just going to get bigger and more of an awareness. And it's crazy to think this is going to be my 14th year, and I had no idea what it was. Like the first year, it's like, what? Second year, it's like, oh. It keeps evolving into this own thing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Maggie, and sharing your story, being vulnerable with us and open. I have one last question. What is the one thing no one knows about you?
Oh no. Oh no. No one knows about me? Like nobody.
Nobody,
or at least majority. How's that?
I wanted the scoop, Dorothy. Come on.
Well, everybody says the same damn thing. I don't know. I'm pretty much an open book. Somebody always knows something about me.
No, that's the problem. Like, it's like, what do I choose to tell you?
Oh,
I have a lot of randomness.
I love randomness.
I would say I'm not going to just stick with one thing.
Okay.
I'll stick with the top 3 things.
Perfect.
Okay.
When I was a teenager, I used to weigh almost 400 pounds. And I did not lose it for the military. I lost it because I moved to a city and I had to walk everywhere.
That's why she hates running.
Yeah, but I still hate running. Like, I can sprint. Oh, I can sprint. And when I was a kid, I used to be able to sprint no problem. My mom always said, like, oh, you would have been great on the track team. But I love the idea of running, right? The second thing is, ever since my second deployment, I love milk with ice. I had a milk box from the DFAC, and it was in my office's fridge one day, and it like overcompensated and it froze kind of, and I had like a slushie, and I love ice with my milk, and I don't drink milk that often. And the last thing,
that's awesome.
Yeah, like random, right? The last 2 things. All right, so it would be top 4. The last 2 things are, I absolutely love flowers because they remind me they die. So enjoy them while they're here. So they literally remind me to stop, enjoy the moment, and just take that moment and embrace it because it's very short. And the last thing is I call God Daddy because he is truly my daddy. He's going to continue to be my father, and I'm always going to be his child. So when I speak with him, I get very emotional. And I don't know if I was supposed to share something that personal.
Absolutely. Whatever you want.
Honey,
But
this is
yeah.
your podcast. You do say what
Those
you
are the
want.
top
Like,
4 things.
I was going to say, so who's your daddy? But, I wasn't sure if that was
I was
appropriate.
like, oh shit, somebody's gonna turn that into ugliness. No, just say no. Don't do that. Don't turn something nice nutty, because I can do that every day. That was a perfect moment.
As you're speaking,
Nice.
Maggie, I see a lot of me in you, and I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God, we could be best friends.
yeah, easily.
Easily.
I can say the
That
F
was a
bomb all day.
Bill
but I don't-
Winter. She's like, I got chairs, and I'm like, I love you, like because I was standing most of the day, my back was killing me, and she's like, sit down, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Felt so bad. She looked like she was in heaven. Like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
She's like
Pizza.
walking away petting dogs. I'm like, it's fine, just go. I got this.
But I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see one of our Warriors dogs and. Yeah. No, it was good when I saw you. She loved the purse, by the way. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
She was so
She
happy
thanked
to see that purse.
Yeah, she thanked me a lot. It was awesome. I love that.
All right, Dr. J, any last words before we wrap this up?
Be safe, take care of each other, and listen. Ask somebody, do you want to be heard, helped, or hugged? And if it's Maggie, don't fucking hug her till you ask.
Noted
ask
on that one.
to approach. Ask to approach Maggie. I'm just saying.
Were
She
you
needs
there
to
when somebody went to hug me? You were, weren't you? Oh my God, I went off. You were there. Somebody came to hug me. They were just I was having a moment. I think I was having a panic attack or something. I kind of walked away, and they just came to give me a hug to help me. I think I almost cocked this poor woman in the face. And
yes, almost. It was like this close. And I was like, Jesus, ask permission. Holy shit. I was very aware from then on. I'm like, hey,
I still feel so bad to this day about that. She's such a kind lady, too. Wow.
But you have to ask permission. You can't just walk up to people and hug them. It freaks us out.
Yeah, but yeah. I still feel bad. She's such a sweet lady. I still feel bad about it. Poor woman.
So if you're watching this podcast, lady, she feels
permission.
very bad.
Sorry. Oh, lives in Georgia. She's a sweetheart. Her husband's awesome. Oh, I feel bad.
Well, no, that's a tip. If you're around a veteran, ask first
Ask.
before you give a hug.
Oh, we love to hug. We just need to know you're coming so we don't shoot you. Like, you have to ask.
And remember to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep going.
Yes,
I
don't
love
stop stopping.
Don't stop stopping. I gotta write that down.
Just stop stopping. You have to stop stopping.
Stop stopping.
Yeah.
Right.
Say that 3
Stop.
times fast.
Stopping. I love that.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Maggie. Thanks to everybody that is watching us live. Thanks to everybody on the replay. Don't forget to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Unstoppable Overcomers. Subscribe, share with your tribe, share with all your
Donate to
veterans.
Canine Line.
That's right. Share with all
Donate.
our veterans.
What they love.
Yeah, if you want to donate to Canine Line, go to canineline.org. All right. Yeah, and thank you for having me, Dorothy, truly. And Dr. J, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
I'm honored you're here. I loved this. This is very, very direct and frank and honest conversation. I loved it.
Well,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maggie, just stay back for a minute as we say goodbye to our friends. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Bye for now.